Okay, we're going to move on now. We're going to do some sanding. We're actually going to clean up the pieces. And then eventually, let me show you guys, we're going to use the walnut dye. If you're curious about the painting kit that is available for this ship, I did a review on it, so you can check that out. So let's get right to it. So what I'm going to keep them in order. So let's start with the first piece. That's going to go with the bow. And what I want to do is I just want to smooth it out a little bit. So when you run your finger on it, you don't really feel those little pieces. And some on top. Pieces, I think, on the inside. See, it doesn't take much. All I want to do is I want to smooth it out to the touch. So, like if you're going to run your finger down it, you don't feel the little piece where it was attached to the tree or the piece of wood. So that looks good. I also want to take a little bit of the sandpaper and what I want to do is I want to take just a little bit of the brand new look off. Just to take a little bit of the shine off and to smooth it out as well. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so we're going to do this for all 16 parts. Again, I just want to get some of that brand new wood kind of look off. Not to really alter the surface, but to smooth it out, but to also take that sheen off. See, I'm sanding it down, not so much to make it flat like a mirror. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, but that's not what I want to do. See, if you look closely, there are little grains you can see where it looks like wood, and I don't want to get rid of those. I want to keep that. Maybe you're supposed to sand it flat, but I don't want to do that with mine. I want it to look like aged wood. So, and over here near the bow, see, this stuff is like pressed particle board, so it's not as durable as the wood, so you've got to be really careful sanding this stuff. That looks good. I think I'll just give it a quick sanding down just to remove the shine. Gotta make sure we don't damage this. This is the spine of the ship. Okay. So now we can think about putting on the stain. And like the instructions call for, let's see, we cut everything out, we got everything ready, and now we're ready to put the stain on. So again, we're going to use the walnut stain. And I think what I want to do first is I want to get all the sawdust off of the pieces. So I'm going to use, actually, you know what? I'm going to use my compressor. And I'm just going to use this to blow off the dust. And make sure to get everything, especially in the little channels. Actually, I want to keep all these in order, so let's do it this way first. We're going to start with A2. Here we are. So immediately you can feel how the pieces are all nice and smooth. They're clean. They're smooth on the edges, so we're all set. So what we can do now is, again, we're going to use the walnut dye. Alright, I think I'll start with the keel. Because then I'll just put it up on, I'll put it up here on a clamp to let it dry. So let's put a little bit of the dye. this material just drinks it right in. There we are. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I have these hooks up here. I want to put it on. Make sure I angle that up. Just like that. And that'll be able to dry just like that. Okay, now we're going to move on. So what's going to happen is the dye is actually going to cover up the marking, but what I'm going to do is we're going to keep them in order. That way they'll stay nice and orderly, and then we'll be able to use the site. So should be a little more with the stain on the wood pieces, because the wood's not going to drink it up like that particle board did. So we may still be able to see the number that we wrote on. Yeah, you can still make it out. And right away it gives it that old look. I love it. So let me see how the stain just gives the wood a totally different character. Just amazing. at that. It's beautiful. The stain just brings out character in the wood that just totally transforms it. So let's put that over there, and now I gotta clean up this mess. Okay, so we got everything nice and stained, and what's nice about this stain is that it actually cleans up with water, whereas I was using the Minwax. Instead of the walnut, I was using the espresso, and that stuff is very messy. But this is nice because it cleans up nicely. You can see everything looks pretty good. I gave it a pretty good soaking, but you can still see the grains, and I actually kind of like that. I don't know if I'm going to put a second coat. I like the way the little areas in the wood look, like the little grains, to make it look aged. So we'll see what it looks like when it's dry. What I'll do is when it's dry, I'll check to see if it needs another coat, and I'll put another coat. If I like the way it looks, we'll move on, and we're going to lay the keel. So my friends, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.